of them. You're wasting all your time and money on models. Paint what you have.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Model Club TV, episode 71. Hello, Scott Johansson, my lovely co-host. How are you this evening?
I'm Ducky.
You're what?
Ducky.
What is Ducky?
Ducky. I'm Ducky. I'm fine. I'm Ducky. Never heard that term?
No. Speaking of terms,
I said something to my kid the other day. It's tough bananas. He started laughing. I go, what? And he says, tough bananas. I'd never heard that before. And I go, you probably haven't either, I take it then, the way you're looking. But I'm like, oh, whatever. And I go, well, when I was your age, I said it was tough titties. And then he goes, oh, now that one I've heard.
Yeah,
okay.
that one I've heard,
and
yes.
Then when I was telling my wife, she goes, well, tough toenails. And that one I never heard.
I never heard that either.
Tough shit, obviously, I've heard, but, you know.
Speaking of another term that you have never heard of, that became much discussion on the Discord.
Oh, here we go.
2 Saturday nights. We do have to talk about this.
Do we?
Yes, we do. Because I was right. Is like everyone, Scott, do you care to elaborate?
I don't even recall what goes on in that Discord. Is like
really?
it's a drunk fest.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it's a drunk. So we had a discussion. A lively
over there smoking his high karate and
but a
Lockabill's half on camera, like here up, sucking down some Crown Royal. Okay, you know, I mean,
we had a lively discussion about what the piece of land between a sidewalk and a street is called.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you playing along at home, leave in the comments below what the piece of land is, technically usually grass or planter of some sort, what that piece of land is called in your area of the country. It's between the sidewalk and the street, where dogs tend to go to the bathroom. And that's how
the
the
person that agrees with me will replace Jason as host of this show. Okay.
Well,
so we're not going to say anything. Are we going to say anything right now?
I think we should. I don't know.
No, I don't think. See, I don't think we should.
Okay, we won't.
I think it should just go cold turkey.
Okay, cold turkey. We won't say it. Please leave your comments below. But the first person that agreed with me was Scott's wife, and we'll leave it at that.
I'm just going to say the divorce papers have been filed.
And the thing is, it's a Chicago term for this piece of land, and I don't understand how you don't use this word for this piece of land. I don't get it.
A lot of words I don't use.
Yeah, you say jag. That is a Chicago term. Jag. To the point where everyone else in the Discord.
I'm about to say it right now.
Everyone else, whenever we say it, they're like, "We've never heard that word before," and everyone from Chicago knows jag is it's.
And jag off when it's jerk off everywhere else.
Yeah, it's jag. You're a jag.
Which jerk off is better, actually?
No, jag's the best. Jag is the best word.
Jerk off.
I said jerk because I quit jerking around in class the other day, and everyone looked at me and went, "Ooh," and I'm like, "Oh my god, what the heck?"
So years ago, I was probably in 8th grade. So you know, when you're in 8th grade, you don't say certain things in front of your parents usually.
Was this like 78?
Yeah, 78, 79.
Okay.
So I'm in the back seat, and when my parents were going somewhere, and we're at a stoplight, and this guy next to us got his radio on, and he's all over the place, right? I'll never forget, my mom looks over and says, "Look at that guy just jerking around." And I remember being in the back seat and going, "Hey, he's probably jerking off." And because it just, you know, it was then I realized I had no filter. Okay. and but I'll never forget my mom trying to be mad, but she was laughing so hard. She goes, "Oh my God." No, yeah. So
all right, we are here. It's episode 71. Like, subscribe, we're getting up there. Discord link will be below. I've had people request what's the Discord link. It's always in the description, so check there first. What's the best way to say this? If I did not get to your email right away, I apologize. It's just it's I need a break sometimes. So I usually check emails like it's when I get like this, like once a week, and I check them all in a pile. So,
And I want to ask,
oh, here we go.
as long as we're on the other subject, I don't know how many people read the comments. Okay. But our good friend Spike left a comment that Jason didn't get. Okay. And I have to be honest. At first, I was like, what the fuck's he talking about? Okay. And then when I looked at it again, I did get it. And then I had to explain it, of course, to this jag. And so I'm just wondering how many people noticed that when the last episode came out, Jason put Mode Club.
I have a touch of dyslexia, I think, because I can read things.
Dyslexia is backwards.
But I can see
letters out.
But I read that as model. Like when I'm reading through it, and I do.
Well,
I
did
even
too,
do it
obviously.
Typing. Right.
But,
I even do it typing. Like I'll put letters in the wrong place, and I'm like, what the heck? And I just didn't notice. And even like after reading it 100 times, I didn't notice. What would have been helpful from Spike was tell me, and then bust my balls.
I thought it was perfect.
No, because that's something that should be fixed right away. Don't let it hang there. Bust my balls all you want after going, hey man, fix the title. Please. It helps. But no, we had fun. I love Spike. Good job. Thanks for pointing it out. He loves to.
You didn't go to the clubhouse and see what he said. Huh?
No.
Oh yeah, there was artwork and stuff.
It's too much internet for me at this point. I can't. I don't know.
So anyway, this is Mode Club episode 2.
Yeah. Let me make sure. I'll mess it up on purpose this time. We have a like my favorite segment of the show right here.
Oh, there is?
I went to the Dungeons and Dragons Museum.
Oh boy. What a thrill fest that was.
Oh my God, you're such a jerk. So a little road trip up to Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And it was a really cool trip. We went to a giant flea market at the Elkhorn Fairgrounds. And it was huge. We didn't even get through all of it. And I, of course, forgot my big funny hat that everyone makes fun of. So
what did I call it last week?
It's probably racist what you called it, so don't.
No. I said I called it something. Oh, a Mrs. Howell hat.
Oh, that's right.
and Brian Clark loved
it. It is a Mrs. Howell hat, actually. So it was very sunny out. But the cool thing is, in Lake Geneva, if people don't know, Lake Geneva is the birthplace of Dungeons and Dragons. Gary Gygax, that's where they invented it. And his house, where it started, the first location of the Dungeon Hobby Shop is like blocks away from downtown Lake Geneva. And the second location is in this building that's now a chocolate store. And I went to that second location as a kid with my dad. We used to go to Lake Geneva like once a year with my family. And I remember we were walking and my dad's like, hey, that's the hobby shop. That's where Dungeons and Dragons is from. And I was like, get out of here. And I was probably like in 4th or 5th grade. And I went in. When I watched, there's a documentary, a really good one. I think it's called Eye of the Beholder on Amazon about the artwork of Dungeons and Dragons. And they show a lot of this building. And I was like, I was in there. I saw that place. So it's still there, but they went back and they have now purchased Gary's house. And it is a Dungeons and Dragons museum. It is very small. So there's not a lot in there. They are looking for like people to donate. They said they're looking for 2 of every item. And they don't have 2 of every item. So if you want to help them out and you have something to donate, get a hold of them. They might not have it. The one thing that I was thinking of donating, which is my Battle of the 5 Armies set that I bought a couple years ago, he said they only have 1 of those. So I may end up donating that up to the shop. But it's in his house, so the museum is literally like a front room and a living room.
So is he there?
No, he passed away. So he's dead. Other people that were involved with it are. So it was really cool to go in. Again, it's very small. They have a bunch of like little artwork of Dragon magazine covers.
I imagine that's one of the hot spots there.
Oh yeah. We asked, there was 12 people in there. We were one of the last people that came in that day. I think it was 12 when he said before us. But it was cool to see some of the old original like game boxes, the original dungeon board game, which was very hard as a kid. And it was cool to go in there. Like, it's just for someone who like such a big, and again, this is a weird, I'm going to admit something. I think I've only actually played Dungeons and Dragons twice, and always got mad at the kid down the street that was trying to be the dungeon master because he would just kill us. I've just always painted the figures, but to still see and being a huge fan of that artwork and it being such a huge part of my life, it was a cool place to stop in and just check it out. It was really cool stop. So I went somewhere. Ready for a giveaway?
Yeah, I'm still looking at this picture. Yeah, go ahead. Give it away. Yeah, quite a bit of entries on this one, I have to say.
We did. So thank you to CG Blade and Lace Lee for the mummy kit. And I got something in the mail. It was the Monday after last episode came out, which was weird. And CG Blade was like, "Hey, dude, you got something in the mail." I'm like, okay, what is it? And he sent me the Tom Cruise mummy on 4K Blu-ray to watch because both of us had said we had never seen it before. So he is now, I have to watch it because he sent it to us. Do you have a 4K Blu-ray player, Scott? Damn it. So I will be the one to watch
copy,
this.
don't it?
Oh, wait, let me check. Oh, it does. It has a regular Blu-ray. I'll give you that one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it has both. So I will give you the regular Blu-ray. I'll watch the 4K one, and we'll do a little mini review.
Well, maybe I could do model in a movie.
Well, there you go. We'll do model in a movie on this show.
Can't wait.
So say
I gotta
thank
grow
you,
a beard and wear a hat because I'm too lazy to comb my fucking hair like the other guy.
That would actually be funny if you did do that. If you wore a hat and put on a fake beard for it. So we'll watch this. I'll give Scott his copy. We could both watch that and do a little mini review. And then we will pass that gift along to someone else and keep that gift going. Watch the movie and pass it on. So anyway, the giveaway is going to be here. I'm going to edit it in later because I don't have the window set up. So I have it set up, but things are messed up.
I never know who wins anymore.
Do you want to do it?
No.
Forget it. No, let's do it. I got it ready to go.
No, I don't want to do it now.
No, we're doing it now.
I don't want to. News and reviews.
Nope.
I still don't see it.
I know you won't see it, but I'll see the web window. Oh, it's a little... I'm going to leave it like this. It's messed up, so you guys got to see. I'll lean in this way. All right. So I'm going to go back to the regular one. And then, dun, 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 the web window is up. Bringing this up. And the giveaway. There we go. Ready to go. We're going to do this jank style. Scott, I'm going to hit shuffle 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are some names of people on here that have won recently. If your name comes up, you're not getting the kit. Sorry. Scott, tell me when has it been?
In a way.
Spinning. And the winner is... Oh, someone that's never won. That has entered a ton of time. Joe Bello.
Joe Bello.
Joe Bello. Awesome. So Joe, I will get you, let me go back to our regular thing. You will be contacting CG Blade to pick either 1/6 scale or 1/8. Awesome. Congrats, Joe. And thank you, CG Blade, for the donation. The mummy kit is available on Etsy. Links down below. Moving on. News and reviews. Now make your noise. Okay. All right. Whoa. We could get... Don't do that. I think there's a license to that song. Jersey Fest. Don't forget, everybody. Jersey Fest is coming up. Scott, have you thought any more about going? I'm tangled.
He's Tanglefoot.
All right, I'm better. Jersey
Have
Fest.
I thought more about going? I have thought about going. Yes.
The decisions. I haven't had a chance to check out flights, so I'm still thinking about it too. But it's a busy. I have like something the day before and like the day after, so it's like I don't
see, I would come home on Sunday. So I'd go Friday and
yeah.
come home on Sunday.
That's what I think. So everybody,
But
links
if
will
I
be down.
deal with that asshole DeConte, I tell you what he did.
No, what did DeConte do?
Well,
This would be Neil DeConte, correct?
Because he's in trouble.
Oh.
So, as everyone knows, I'm not going to Wonderfest this year.
Oh, this is going to be good. What did he do?
But I did have a reservation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I knew that Neil was looking for a room. So I put him on my reservation so he could check in and use my room because the rooms were all sold out. Okay.
Did he just use his ID because you guys look the same?
Well, yeah, whatever, So then that motherfucker has the nerve to post some 2005 King Kong shit on my own Facebook page and says, "You need this, pal." Okay. To which I replied, "What I need to do is call the hotel and cancel my reservation." Okay. And I haven't heard from him since. So, yeah, he's in trouble.
So yeah, Jersey Fest
guy is in trouble. Okay?
Jersey Fest is coming up. Don't forget, we'll put the links down for the show down below. But Wonderfest is also coming up. This will be the last show before Wonderfest. And a little bit of news I got to put in about that is I don't think we're going to have an episode in the first episode in June. Because, so nobody be alarmed if that happens. We may do a live stream somehow from there and have that count as the episode.
So you're not going to do a June 14th episode?
We'll have to figure out a way to time it out, or we'd have to pre-record it because I leave for a week being away the day after I get back. And that would be record time for Wonderfest recap. So I don't know.
Just put it out there unplugged. Model Club TV unplugged.
I was thinking
record it real quick. Who cares if it's screwed up? It can't be any worse than you mumbling through fucking emails.
That's what I was thinking. Okay. I was thinking maybe you and I do a live stream that night. We come back. I come back.
We come back? Yeah, that'd be great the night we come back.
The night I come back and just put that out there as the episode.
You coming home Sunday?
I am coming home Sunday. But I'm not going to do it Sunday night. But maybe that Monday? I don't know. We'll figure something out.
I've had people request that I fly out Saturday night and just come for Sunday. And it's like, no, I'm not doing that. So
could we do a GoFundMe for your ticket?
It's not that. Well, first of all, it's Louisville. So there's no telling what would happen to the flight. Okay. Because it's because it's a small airport. So, you fly out, second. Okay. I have to come back Sunday, probably drive back with you. And 5 hours in a car with you, I'd rather commit suicide.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's all good.
Okay. No, you know what? There's plenty of friends going. Okay. Greg Damian's going. And,
Greg. Yes, Greg would be great. You should drive with Greg coming back. All right. Banshee Studios has a new kit out, and it is the Trog. The Troglodite. I'm going to say it just in case. Troglodyte. I'm going to read what he kind of posted up there. This is from Great Britain, so keep that in mind. But people over there on that side of the earth, pond, ocean, this is probably geared more towards you. But again, shipping is going to be kind of hefty coming towards us. Most people have seen the teaser photo already, but we've been both, and this is from Russell Roby, and we've shown his stuff before. He has that really cool Wolfman on the crate. Most people have seen the teaser photo already, but we've been bowled over by the responses. We have now started molding on this large, terrific piece, which is actually in scale with Typhon Studios' Smilodon by Joe Bailey. Trog comes with a stone-style base, nameplate, and choice of 2 different hands holding club or spear, and there will also be an additional figure of Prince Kasim and his baboon form. All with Banshee, and as with all Banshee releases, there will be some really nice extras included. So if you're interested in getting a copy of this amazing piece, please let us know and send them a message. So contact Banshee Studios over on Facebook, and there is a link. I'll put that down below. It's 145 Great British pounds plus shipping and handling. So I just want to talk about this for a second. I think the sculpture itself, the level of detail in his face, the first thing I notice about this, it's something you don't get with a 3D printed kit or a digitally sculpted kit. It looks handmade, and don't anyone take that as a knock. I like that close up on his face. I love. There's so much character in just that face, and you can tell. I love seeing tool marks and where like the pieces were made, and I think the hair is really well done. Great little piece. I love that face. Love the face. So
I love that you got your smiling on and didn't screw it up.
I knew you would. So that's the Trog. That's the Trog. Great job, Russell. All right. From Dan J. Gardon. Garden? I can't remember again. My name's. He's been holding off on this. Is again, I'm taking descriptions from Facebook, but I thought both of these were really good and keeping in that Harryhausen style or theme. Been holding off on posting this for a minute, but finally got around to taking some relatively decent pictures. It's a 1/8 scale Harryhausen skeleton kit, a new release for Wonderfest. So if you're going to be at Wonderfest, these are going to be there. I love skeletons, and between the horse, Sabretooth, and a couple dinosaur kits, this is my fourth release of a skeleton. This is inspired by the iconic scene from Jason and the Argonauts, and a simple construction features 6 3D printed parts and comes with a wood base. Only a month left to this. So this is about a month ago. And I love first of all, I love the paint job on this skeleton. And I saw somebody in the comments down below ask if he was going to make it available in different scales at some point. And he said yes. But at Wonderfest, it's only going to be the 1/8 scale. So jump on this quickly. If you can, I think they're going to go pretty quickly.
I like how the skeletons sometimes had the mad brow and all that.
Yeah. And then his second thing, and I thought this is pretty cool. And this is kind of, where things are going. But let's just
Is this
read through
Dan as well, by the way? I just read this.
Yeah, this is Dan as well, too. So another release from Dan is, let me get to my screen. Molds are done and tested. I can finally announce my new kit. Introducing Robotica Roller Derby Girl of the Future. This is a 1/8 scale kit consisting of both traditionally cast and 3D printed elements. She includes a customizable cybernetic arm, as well as a standard human left arm for those of you who want a more realistic depiction of a roller derby player. One of my greatest inspirations as a kit producer was at Wonderfest 2018 when I viewed a panel about producing kits. At the time, legendary producer Mark Warthling of Filmy's Girls gave a great interview where he talked about his line of products. Specifically, they were designed to be sexy but not obscene. And that's what we've done with Robotica. She was designed to not only be beautiful, but to be strong and athletic. And when working on the concept, sculptor XeDev, I'll put a link to him too. I hope that's how you say that. And I focused on a flowing pose known as a crossover, a difficult balance maneuver used to gain speed when making a turn. In the interest of customization, Robotica comes with a wide variety of decal options, including 3 different derby teams, a myriad of numbers, markings, and tattoos. She'll make her debut at Wonderfest as well. So everybody, head on over to Dan's table. This is of sci-fi models and stuff. He's got 2 really cool pieces here that are going to be at Wonderfest. And I think he's right in sculpting this. That is a very dynamic pose. Do you watch roller derby? Have you watched roller derby?
Maybe when I was a kid, I'd turn it on, see if I saw any boobies or anything.
But it is a really dynamic pose that is like, if you know roller derby, you know exactly what this is. And it's, I think, really cool. Like, this is a really cool piece. I like how the base looks like it's cut out of the track and it has those cables in there and just like sweet little details like that. So well done, Dan. Well done. Great release. Check it out at Wonderfest. All right. Well, winter update.
I know, from you and not me. Go figure.
I know. Look at that.
Although Wells got some cool stuff coming.
All right. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Why not?
I signed a non-disclosure. No.
No, this. Wait, did you do something new?
There's something I've been bugging him to sculpt for a long time, and he started working on it.
Oh,
And it's
okay.
not us.
All right.
Unfortunately, it's not us.
All right.
But it might be let's say split up. Especially if it's tough bananas.
I don't know.
See who can figure that out, because you're an idiot. Okay, so what do we got here?
Fred and some redhead kid.
Fred and Red. No idea. This is a later Scooby-Doo cartoon that was beyond my time. But it's part of that younger series.
I think it's from that pup named Scooby-Doo show. That's what my guess is. But moving on to the cooler thing. Now we know why that base was so big. When he had the Scooby-Doo and the Shaggy out and the Scrappy before. Because there was more coming. And here we have...
Well, yes and no.
What do you mean?
So there's a backstory here.
Was this a Scott idea again?
No.
Okay.
No, that's not a Scott idea. This is a Well idea to expand on his other idea, because some asswipe is selling the original file for nothing on one of his websites.
Also, okay.
Bullshit STL websites. So Well decided, okay, then I'll just improve this one. So, but yeah, it's a beautiful diorama.
Dude, the bad guy in the back, love it. I want just that guy. But I am gonna pick this up now. This is really cool.
So I have to talk to him, because I have the Scooby, the Shaggy, and the Cemetery. So I just need the figures. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to him. Ooh, something just popped in my shoulder. Don't you care? You don't care.
No.
Okay.
Well done, Well. Hey, everybody. A little addition to the news and reviews. Paul sent this to me yesterday, and I didn't notice until he reminded me today, because everything going on with recording. So this is a new kit coming from Paul and Gilman Productions. I don't have my buttons hooked up right now, but I wanted to get this in the show just because it came in right at the right time. So this is Vampire Zafiro, or Vampire Zero. And it is a 1/3 scale masterwork rendered in clay. There will be more information coming soon. So enjoy these pictures. Very cool, creepy, old-looking Nosferatu-style vampire. And I really like it. Nice piece. And thanks for Paul for sending it in. Going to put some more pictures up here and talk over them so it doesn't get boring. But contact Paul for more information over on Gilman's Garage. Information for that will be down below as well. Great new little vampire stuff. That's a cool painter's piece. Really, really like that. All right. Back to the regular show. All right, Workbench. Scott, working on anything?
Printing for others. Actually, I'm not printing for others. I'm happy to say
You're done?
I'm done printing for others for right now. Now, that doesn't mean I won't get a call. I actually did get a call this morning. Well, as I said last issue, I said this. I was printing Jesse's Tin Man for him, so he has a display at Wonderfest. He asked me if I'd do a second one, and I told him I would, and I did. And so he called me this morning, and he says, I need you to print another one. And I'm like, okay. And it's like, and he says, no, I'm just kidding. So it's like, because I think he was shocked I got the second one out so quick. But
so are you going to have anything for me to bring? Let people know this is our last episode before people would know. Is there going to be anything you're going to sell?
So far, I have Groovy Ghoulie wise. I'm working on the Frankies right now. And I have Mummies and I have Wolfies printed. Okay. And the hope is to get the Frankies done and the Drax. So it'd be the 4 main Ghoulies. If there's anything, if I can get them done, and the bad part is the Frankie's bigger than the other one. So he takes a little more time to do. because I have to do some more of him on the Jupiter. And I showed you guys that picture, of course, about a third of the way in the other day. On one of them, the power must have glitched and stuck there. So, and then I've got some things going on at home, so I haven't been down there today. But I've got all the feet and legs printed and heads, so I'm just doing on the Jupiter. I do the body, the base, and the two hands. And I think I've got 2 of those done, so I have to do at least 4 more. There's only going to be like 5 of each.
So you'll have at least, okay. You'll have some. Anything else besides Groovy Ghoulie? What about the one behind you?
If time permits, I'm going to do a few of those, but they're not going to be that big.
Of the Gossamers? Okay.
Of the Gossamers, yes.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it alone. Okay. There's a good chance there's going to be a dealer there that has these on his table in a resin. Okay. This dealer only compensated the sculptor one time and cast these in resin. Okay. Don't know what the legalities of that are as far as the licenses on CG Trader, but I know the moralities of it are wrong. Okay. Because basically the guy paid the sculptor $15 for the file. And I preached about this till I'm blue in the face. Cast it in resin, and now he's going to sell them for the rest of his life for $50 or $40. So mine are going to be priced around the $50 range. Frankie's going to be more because he's more, but he's not going to be significantly more. And I can guarantee when you buy them from me, each one that's bought from me, the sculptor will get the price of the file as a payment for the sculpt.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
If there's anything someone wants that well sculpted, now would be a good time to tell them.
Yeah.
And I'll send it along.
I'll bring it down. Same for me. I've been painting Catwoman, in the process of doing that. I'm not going to have time to paint everything that I'm going to have for sale. So I've been priming a lot of things and puttying and getting things put together so they can be displayed. So I will have 8 of my Lord of the Print Godzillas at Wonderfest. And the funny thing is I'll have 8 of this size. And I saw somebody on the Lord of the Print site today post a little bigger one than that. And everyone was oohing and on. And I'm like, wait till they get a load of me. Because I have 2 giant ones that I'm finished today. The parts for those are printed. And it's about this long. It's huge. And I'll have 2 of those. I'll have a Boris Vallejo piece and a Frazetta inspired piece and a little tiny Jaws, some other little things thrown in, but it'll be cool to just kind of be surprised with some of that. So
yeah, if I've got time to print some odds and ends, I may.
That's kind of what I'm going to do.
If I have time to dig some stuff out of my stash, I may dig 1 or 2 things out of there, but
one of the things that came up Workbench wise is someone had, I'm not going to say names, but someone had messaged me and emailed me about what's the best way to fill in the support holes when you take things off, when there's little tiny divots left over. And a couple of things that you can do, putty, the different kinds of putties. Avies is not the best kind. The 2-part epoxy putty is not the best for that. You want to use something more like the Vallejo plastic putty or the Mr. Hobby putty or Squadron, something that is like quickly dries really fast and sands really quick. Also, the best thing I think for it is UV resin. Is just get a little toothpick, and if there's a really big divot, just little drop and hit it with a UV light and then sand it out. That kind of works the best. And I've been actually using a UV resin to do a lot of my seaming on kits too.
So does that bond well?
Yeah, it works perfect.
Okay.
Yeah,
so it
it's great.
Chip off as you're sanding.
No, it bonds really well. And
what's your cure time on that? When you do it?
Like I do it on and off, like 30 seconds, not even.
Okay.
Like it just, because it's so thin and small that it just, like, it cures pretty well. There was something else hobby-wise that came up. Yeah, it's been a lot of priming and sanding. And
now, do you get people asking you how to fill the holes or do you send the plugs?
Sometimes I send the plugs, sometimes I don't. I won't have the plugs. If they're a bottom for a base, I don't, because it's not something that's going to be seen. If it's something that does need to be filled, that will be seen, I will send the plugs. I've seen some people use, what was it? Like a tool where you get a drop of resin, uncured resin, you put it in there and pull it out quick enough, and it kind of fills that hole real fast. And if you can hit it with a light, you can plug that hole pretty quick and then put some putty over it, or just keep filling it with resin and sanding. Yeah, I think I'm going to have more paint time, I think, over this summer than I've had in the past. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, that's the Workbench, everybody. It's just been, again, it's been busy. So our guest this week, we have a guest. You're not stuck with both of us. Chris Elizardo, sculptor, who's been around a while doing stuff kind of I don't want to say, how would you describe Chris in terms of work, body of work? I don't want to say, I told him he kind of flies under the radar, which I think he does. Because he's plugging away. He takes jobs and jobs and jobs and just keeps sculpting, stays out of the drama, stays out of the limelight, and just kind of does his stuff. And there's some really good digital stuff that he's been doing lately, and I thought it would be a good time to bring him on and talk about it. Scott?
Yeah, I've known Chris a long time, on and off, just talking on Facebook or whatever over the year. And prior to Facebook, I think even on AOL Messenger.
Yeah. I mean, he goes back to the Gremlins in the Garage days. We talk about that for a second, too.
Yeah, and Chris, I mean, I've watched Chris evolve as a sculptor. And as you'll see, we touch on that a little bit now, to where I look at his digital work, and it's, it's wow, the likenesses are really good, and so he's really he's another guy that's made the transition, and fought it initially, and there's a good story on there. I don't know. Here's Chris, I guess. Let's go.
All right. I just messed it up. See, it is rocket science.
Here we go.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are here with Chris Elizardo. Chris, how are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Wonderful. Scott, you still okay?
I'm great. Yeah, I was great 5 minutes ago when I got here, and you're dorking around, but yeah.
Scott, for everybody, Scott was on time for the first time, I think, ever, and it shocked me to see his name in the Zoom meeting. So anyway, Chris, how's life? How's life treating you?
Going good. Work as usual.
So for people who don't know, Chris is an amazing sculptor. How long have you been sculpting? What was your first foray into sculpting?
Since 1991.
Okay.
Yeah. And then some as a child, paper mache and that kind of thing.
Where did you grow up at?
San Antonio, Texas.
Are you still there?
No, I'm in New Braunfels now, Texas. Right up the road. That's where my wife's from.
What's the temperature today?
It's like 89, something like that.
Oh, man. What part of Texas is that? Like,
it's in between San Antonio and Austin.
Okay.
Nestled.
Nice. You get over to Austin a lot or no?
Oh, no.
No.
Too crazy up there for me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm reclusive. I don't get out a lot at all. I'm chained to my desk.
Do you have a cool little compound in the desert then? Like,
no. I live in a suburb.
Oh, dang it. No razor
he's
wire.
Got Waco going. He's got a bunch of.
That's what I was wondering. Come on.
Got a bunch of sculptors hidden out. And...
Yeah, I'm reclusive, so I mean, all I do is sculpt.
And that kind of brings me to my first point. You're one of those guys that kind of flies under the radar, and you'll see you always hear Jaeger's name. You always hear certain people's names over and over and over. But you've been involved in a lot of this stuff that I think people don't know about in the background, like doing stuff for a lot of different people and a lot of different companies. So I thought it'd be great to have you on and kind of just go through what you've done and what you're working on now, and just a quick little interview with, Chris. So 91, what was that first thing you sculpted?
Oh my Lord.
Do you remember?
It was a really terrible Iron Man. I kept it for years. It was made out of air dry clay and painted with acrylics. It was awful, but nobody told me it was. So I just kept going.
No, nobody ever tells you it is. That's,
Oh yeah. Oh,
that's
great. That's great.
that's the problem. And I've run into it with paint jobs as well. It's like no one will tell you, "Hey, man, that's really bad." Okay, or
God bless him, right?
they'll. And I'm not saying people should be mean about it, but it's like, but it's like, oh man, that's great. I remember seeing this creature one time painted with all these polka dots, and if this guy's watching, we're gonna lose a subscriber. Like yellow or pink with polka dots all over, and I'm like, what's this guy even thinking? Okay.
Picasso, man. It was a Picasso.
And everybody's out there going, hey, man, that's great. And I'm like, wiping my screen off going, are you seeing the same thing I'm seeing? Because,
Oh, man.
So,
all right, if that guy is listening, please.
Yeah.
That's Scott's opinion, not mine.
Jason's address is, So in 91, how old were you, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, geez, I'm 58 now. So
Okay, so you're my age. I'm 59. So
okay.
I was a junior in high school.
Is your memory going too, or just mine?
I think it's going.
What was that question, Jason? I'm sorry.
No, I was a junior in high school that year. So
Oh, wow.
I'm 10 years behind you guys. Exactly 10 years, actually.
You're a lot farther behind us than you think.
That's true.
Yeah, I went into the Army at 17.
Oh, wow. Let's talk about that. What did you do in the Army?
I was a unit armor, weapons, ammo, grenades, rocket launchers, that sort of thing.
What's it like to shoot a rocket launcher?
We only ever got to shoot the practice ones, so that was still pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
The rocket, it just didn't blow up anything. So I did go to Yakima Firing Center one time, and we had to dispose of crates and crates of grenades. So we just sat there all day long lobbing grenades on a range.
That's the greatest.
That was fun. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. Right up until somebody drops one. It's funny till someone drops one.
That wouldn't have been good. No.
Did you hear where was that? Was that here? That was here, Chicago. And this is a sad, horrible story. It was in the suburbs. Did you hear this story, Scott?
No, but you're laughing.
Oh,
You've got me laughing already.
I'm making you laugh. There was a family, and they were going. Yeah, it was just last week. Yeah. They were going through their grandfather's stuff from World War II, and they found a grenade, and the dad pulled the pin, and he died. The grenade went off in their garage, and he died, and the kids got hurt. Like, horrible. People, if you find an old grenade, treat it like it's a live grenade, please. Oh, man.
Like that.
So, did you go to art school at all, or was it just...
Oh, no.
All self-trained? Okay.
Completely self-taught,
okay.
Yeah. Right. Thank God for Michael Pavlovich, ZBrush instructor on YouTube.
Okay, we'll get to that. We will get to that. We will get to that in a second.
So you're my age. So were you an Aurora guy and all that?
Oh, I liked all that stuff. Oh,
yeah, okay.
The thing about mine was my brother got all that stuff, and I was kind of left out. So pretty much I got to watch him. Comics, model kits.
Mm-hmm.
He was the number one son. So, yeah.
That's what I had a brother that was actually a little older, so he kind of would tell me what to get.
Oh, yeah?
And then he would, I remember one time he got his BB gun and shot the fingers off my Wolfman kit. Oh, and I was so mad. And my mom made him buy me another one because...
Oh, man, wait. He purposely aimed for just the fingers and got them?
I don't know who the hell knows?
Oh. Dude, that's a pretty good shot.
That thing had more holes in it than cheese when I got it back.
So, at least he didn't start it on fire. He just shot it. Were they silver? Maybe he was trying to kill it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No, those were them old copper BBs, boy.
I remember those. You give him the milk carton?
Yeah. Yes, they did. Yeah.
Back
then.
I would load them up in my wrist rocket. Like 100 of them.
Ooh, I had one of those too. Loved them.
Good time. What was that like? How did you find out about garage kits? Like what brought you back into that?
Wayne Hansen.
Okay.
I saw some. I think he was in either Kit Builders, one of the Kit Builders early issues, or AFM. I'm not sure. And I was just blown away.
Do you remember where you found AFM or Kit Builders? Was it a comic shop? Was it like
I want to say it was a comic store.
Okay, that's how I found it too.
Yeah, and then Dan Perez. I saw an article by him. This is later, but the big bugs from Starship Troopers.
I remember that.
I remember that.
Yeah. And then I found out he was in Houston, and I was like, oh my God, this dude's famous. So I had to go see him. So he's a good friend now. So
Cool.
So did you
Yeah.
have you ever made it to Wonderfest, or are you?
I did go once year. I got to meet Wayne Hansen and a bunch of other people, and it was really cool. But
I think we met that year.
maybe.
I'm almost positive. I didn't look like this.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So, but yeah, I got a picture somewhere of me and Wayne sitting there talking about some sculpture. I don't know. But yeah, he was one of my idols too. So
Do you still keep in touch with Wayne?
no, we don't talk much anymore. So
Okay. Does
He
anybody?
kind of fell off
yeah, I haven't heard anything about Wayne in a long time. So.
when he had that fire. I know he had that fire, and
Oh yeah, I donated to his house recovery, so. And that's pretty much the last I heard from him. So I don't know. I hope he's okay.
his videos, man, his videos were classic. As I don't know if you ever had any.
I
of them.
had some. I
And,
probably
like-
still have some.
And even like the phone would ring. And, gotta go get the phone. He'd run and get the phone and stuff like that. I mean, there was no editing at all. He was live sculpting, and that was it. It was.
Man, that's
Hey.
actually kind of cool though.
They were real, though. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like
They
He's a
have
pioneer. Like he was one of the first guys. I'm like, when you think of like the original famous sculptors, Wayne's right there. Who like
He
Wayne,
is-
Sean Nagel?
Oh yeah, I'm friends
Those
with
kinda-
Sean. Well, we talk every once in a while, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Who was the first company that you actually did something for?
Garage Kit wise.
Yeah,
it was
Garage Kit.
Fat Man Production.
Good old
Remember Fat Man?
Oh,
That
of
is
course.
Frank
Of
Cahill,
course.
a
yep.
long time ago, right? Yeah,
Yep.
he would pretty much buy anything I did. So
he would, and that's, which is why he went out of business because
probably
he pretty much
hated
bought
that.
anything anybody did.
Yeah.
Okay, for a while there, and
Yeah.
I think he got in over his head. But
What was the first thing you did for him?
Oh shoot, I don't even remember, man. I don't remember. I know I did a little mascot for him for free, just as a thank you, but I don't remember any of the other stuff really.
Pigman, he did the
Pigman. He
Pigman.
did
Oh,
the
yeah.
Pigman.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
of good
Yeah.
old Matt. Were you there for the mask event?
No.
No. You remember that, right, Scott?
Yeah,
Where that came from? Matt Clemens. For people who don't know, the logo on the Fat Man boxes was at Wonderfest one year. Matt Clemens, who had passed away a couple years ago. Is it a year ago now? 2 years?
Oh, it's
Seems
2
like
3 years
two,
ago.
three years.
And but he showed up with this Pigman mask. It's a pig smoking a cigar at Wonderfest. So, and Matt was a very large man, and he walked around Wonderfest wearing that Pigman mask, and that was his name was Pigman on the clubhouse and on the Gremlins garage. That was always his name, and so that's what he ended up using. That's where that logo came from. Was Matt
yeah.
Clemens wearing the Pigman mask at
Yeah.
Wonderfest? That's
Don't you miss those two forums?
yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
did.
I miss the Gremlins in the garage the most.
Oh yeah.
Because that was just, and we've talked about it on the show, and I tried to get a hold of Dennis, the guy that ran it, Dennis Bohm, and I've not heard back. The person that I think I found on Facebook that's him, I never got an answer back, because I think if you're not friends with somebody, it goes into your message requests, and so he might not have never seen it, or he's just like, screw those Garage Kit guys. I don't want any part of that anymore, which is highly possible.
Were you part of the original list, Chris? The original mailing list?
I think I was. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Dude,
It was
Oh,
chaos.
the emails, and we've talked about it on the show, I think a couple times, but you get home from work or school, and you had 400 emails of Ed Bulkley yelling at somebody. It's like, what the heck? The good old
What happened
days.
to Ed? What is he doing? Does anybody know?
He's still involved with Chiller, and I talk to him about maybe once a year now, you know, and he's kind of out of the model thing. You know, he's really into autographs. He actually has a Facebook channel now.
Oh yeah.
And for those that don't, I forgot what it is, Unca Ed's. I don't know, but he's showing his autographs and his stuff he gets from Chiller, and
Wow.
It's a really
Okay.
good video of him
Yeah.
vaping like hot peppers,
Yeah.
right? Or something.
What?
oh yeah, he did a video. He was vaping hot sauce.
Oh man.
Hot sauce. That's what it was.
No.
I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? And he was posting these pictures. He's lost all his teeth now, but as his teeth were going bad, he's yanking his teeth out, and he's showing these pictures of these teeth that look like tusks, and it's like, and this maniac yanked them out on his own. Okay, and I'm like, you're crazy, man. You're just crazy.
Wow.
But,
Did you ever sculpt anything for Ed? Did you?
I don't
No?
think so.
Okay.
No, so you did Fat Man.
Yep.
And oh God, I hate to say the name, but I know you were you did a lot of minis for Larry Burbridge. Mojo Resin.
1/28 scale.
Yeah. And which is kind of one of those things. I mean, not to harp on a bad subject, but I never understood why he got involved in so much shady shit when he had his own stuff that sold.
See, I never heard anything. Of course, no one's going to tell me, and I'm not out there with the stories and stuff. But he just paid me. I did work.
Well, that's the thing.
Actually, if it wasn't Fat Man, Larry, Jimmy Flintstone, I wouldn't even be a sculptor. There was no work for me. Those three guys pretty much kept me going. Never told me, hey, that sucks. So
they were just like, I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Okay. And which brings me to your website. Want to share that with everyone?
Sculptorforhire.com.
There you go. Sculptorforhire.com.
Yep. My wife thought of that name too, by the way. She's very proud of that.
Awesome.
Hey, let's pick Sculptor for Hire. Oh, okay.
Well, I'll be damned. There it is.
There you go. Speaking of that, Sculptor for Hire, when you're paid by a company, like, do you enjoy that more, doing something for someone else, or something like stuff that you'd rather do for yourself? Are you more of a, I'm going to sit here and make this thing I want, or do you really just kind of?
I pretty much follow the concept art, and money's the underlying objective, so
yeah.
I enjoy the hell out of sculpting. So, I mean, getting paid to do it is, oh my God, they're paying me to do this,
Oh man.
I just got commissioned today, actually.
Really?
And it's for a private guy in California, but he had done a head scan of his grandmother. And I was thinking, oh man, this is going to be easy money, because head scans, they're really, really detailed with the stuff they can pick up. Basically, it was just a silhouette. So I have to sculpt I wanted to tell him it would have been easier for me to sculpt it from scratch.
Yeah.
than to use the head scan, but I didn't do that. So I'm pretty happy to have that.
That's a pretty cool job. Did you get a lot of jobs like that, of just random people, not Garage Kit related? Just, hey, can you make this?
Yeah,
okay.
I've made action figures and different kinds of toys and stuff.
Ooh,
I guess they find me through my website or word of mouth. I don't know.
I had forgotten you did a couple of Bowen pieces. I'm on the website now looking at Bowen pieces.
Which Bowen pieces?
I did Devil Dinosaur and the Toad for him. And
how was that? Talk about sculpting for Bowen. How was that a good experience? Was it stressful?
Randy is so talented. It's intimidating.
Yeah, that's
you gotta live up to this guy's standards, And I thought, man, at first I was really intimidated, and then I think he may have gotten frustrated with me because I was so, give me input, that finally I figured I'll just sculpt it. If he likes it, he likes it, and he did. He liked the stuff I did. He did some tweaks on the Devil Dinosaur in the eye area and stuff, but I still have the prototype in my closet for the Devil Dinosaur and the Toad, I think, somewhere up there, signed by him.
Oh, so cool.
That's pretty cool. My grandchildren may make some money off that someday.
That's awesome.
Wow, I'm looking at I'm in the gallery, so I'm just gonna pop some random stuff out here because that's what I do. That big Green Lantern. What was that? Was that a private thing, or was that not Green Arrow? I'm sorry, Green Arrow.
Green Arrow, yeah. I started that because I did a show in Austin, and I had never done a show where I set up. So I was just sitting there sculpting, and then I thought, well, shoot, I'll just give a copy away to whoever wins the drawing. So I held a drawing, and they won it, and I ended up selling it to Jimmy Flintstone, who provided me a copy later, and I sent it off. But yeah, that thing drew a whole bunch of oohs and ahs at the show. But then the people got really mad at me because I didn't bring anything to sell. I had my workout on the table, and some business cards, and I was just sitting there sculpting. And,
So what happened to this Green Arrow? Did Jimmy ever release it?
yeah, he did. It should be out there somewhere. I don't know. It's so big. I want to say it's half scale, something like
I
that.
don't know that I've ever seen it. That's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yep. Big boy there.
And then the Moon Dragon, I think I had that at one point, but I'm not sure.
I can't even remember who I did that for.
I know, because for a while there were a lot of those.
On my site, I can't remember who I did for.
Yeah.
Real quick, because we ask everybody who's do you like ballpark figure how many sculptures you've done that have been produced into something or things that you've made to sell?
Ooh, there's got to be hundreds, man.
Okay.
I would say there's literally so many I've forgotten stuff that I've done. Like I was at a flea market pretty recently, and there was some action figures laying on a table there, and I thought, wow, these are really good. And I'm flipping them over and looking at them and stuff, and then I noticed, oh shoot, these are for Leonard Toys. So I went back in my website, and you could see them right there on the action figure page. They're mine, and I had no idea. And I thought, wow, these are good.
That's cool.
It's sad.
So, what's the difference between sculpting an action figure and just a regular static thing? I mean, do you have to break it up differently?
Oh, yeah. The articulation, sometimes you got to do the inner mechanism, that supports the limbs and stuff. I did some in clay for Leonard, and that was a lot of fun. Of course, they were in Sculpey, and I did them in little pegs, and, and then they sent them off to China and made millions of them. And I thought, man, I really made it when I saw them in Walmart, but they're still in Walmart. Come on, it's been years. So, but yeah, action figure is good money when you can get it.
What's your favorite action figure you've ever done?
I want to say I did one for Zika Toys. It looks kind of like a stormtrooper. It's a GI Joe scale, true scale. And just like the old O-ring action figures, you remember GI Joe action figures?
Yeah.
He should be in the toy thing there too. Maybe even on the front page. I don't know.
You did a lot for Larry in that small scale. Did you like working in that scale, or did you hate it?
I used to like working in that scale. Now I can't see that close up. I gotta have these big goggles. Thank God for ZBrush, because I can get the thing way up in my face and really get the detail, and then I print it really small. But with clay sculpture, man, it is difficult to focus on stuff now.
Are you still doing a lot of clay, or are you almost entirely digital at this point?
Almost entirely digital now.
Okay.
So unless I want to, mess around for myself and tinker, push a little clay around. And the thing about ZBrush is, when I was at that show I was telling you about, sculpting that big green arrow, ZBrush people approached me and gave me a free copy of ZBrush when it had first come out. And I thought, Claver Moore was so adamantly against digital sculpting that I basically threw it in the trash. And man, what a mistake.
Yeah.
Because the things if I would have gotten into that and developed, I've only been doing it probably 3-4 years now. And if I would have got back into it then, wow.
Yeah.
Imagine how good it could be.
And you can tell, like, just from some of the stuff I found on your Facebook page, your clay stuff, you can tell is clay, but there's some of your digital stuff. And I'm going to just start right here with this. The Herman Munster that you did recently is beautiful. Like, that is probably the most perfect Herman Munster I've ever seen. Like, I can't think of one better that I've like that. Like, that's Fred Gwynn. Like, that's it. I think that is fantastic.
That's a real compliment.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: when did you decide to make that change? Was it a change out of necessity where you said
necessity? It was actually forced upon me because I kept losing clients. I lost a job in New York where they were going to make me head of their sculpting division, and they just based off what they saw on my website. And got to the point in our negotiations where they asked me how long I had been sculpting digitally, and I says, well, all the work on my website is traditional stuff, and it was literally click. And I never heard from them again. So I thought, oh man. And then a friend of mine told me you gotta get into digital sculpting. That's the way it's going. There's not going to be any need for traditional sculptors anymore. And I fought that for a long time. And then I thought, well, I have ZBrush. I have the equipment to learn it. And then I went on YouTube one day and decided, oh, okay, I'm gonna learn it. And there comes Michael Pavlovich. Oh my God. This guy will teach you ZBrush from opening up the program all the way to advanced.
Free on YouTube.
Getting into digital, look him up.
Okay.
Also in Austin, by the way, Michael Pavlovich.
Okay.
Yeah. Should have him on the show.
We'll check him out.
I definitely will.
He's a genius.
So, we've talked to a few other digital sculpting guys. And I'm going to say this, and I don't want you to by no means take this horribly wrong. Okay.
Oh, here we go. What are you going to
But here we go. But, I never thought you were a bad clay sculptor, but the digital stuff you're doing is just phenomenal. The stuff I'm seeing. I mean, so my question to you, is it easier to get a likeness digitally? Is it easier to, because I know you got the symmetry and all that you can work with and everything. Is it easier, faster? I mean, how do you rate it?
No, what happened to me was being self-taught. I never took a course in how to sculpt a likeness. I thought, well, I'll just do it, Mm-hmm. But when I got into digital, there's so much information out there that I actually paid for a course and learned how to do likeness work. And that's the key. And you got to learn from the people who know. So that's what I did. And it's helped me. I still need some more work on my likeness stuff, but I mean, I've come, like you said, it's basically night and day. And as long as I get good reference pictures, I mean, I can do anybody. So.
Because we've been told, and I started a little class in ZBrush that I'm working on, and my master's degree, sculpture, but fine art, so it's not anything like this. And I think that's where your traditional sculptors are going to be, are people who are only doing one-off things.
Oh yeah,
for art galleries. When it comes to the stuff that we like, it's all going to be digital. It's all going to be like this because it's easier to produce at that point, and easier at some point to make it. Do you take images and put them behind and then try and look at it and work through it that way? Because I know some other people we've talked to said that that's one way to do it. And even the class that I'm taking, the first thing is through Udemy. I can't remember the guy's name right now. He says he teaches you how to put a JPEG of an apple into the program so you can have it behind you as an image while you're sculpting, so you have your reference while you're working. And I think that's just an immediate tool that when you're trying to do it with in clay by yourself, not digitally, it's so much harder to look over and keep.
Well, I had a big board in front of me, and I would just have. I went through some printer ink. I'll tell you, I just had whole walls of stuff to do likenesses, and I would get every angle I could get, and it's just right in front of you. And as you sculpt, if you look at it enough, it becomes, it feels like it's natural. But I mean, you just can't you can't say, oh, think about a guy like, if I'm looking at you right here and then go sculpt you with no reference. That ain't gonna happen.
It's gonna look much
Nothing
better.
Handsome. Nothing this handsome anyway. I'll tell you.
So the Herman and the Grandpa, who are those for? Were those yours or
no? Those are Jimmy Flintstone stuff. Yeah, shifter knobs and whatever else he uses them for, I guess.
Okay.
Now,
the Grandpa.
Where do you get the ideas for these? Do you do them, or does Jimmy say, "Hey, I want to do this"?
Yeah, Jimmy, just like any other client, he says, "Do this, this, this." This past couple of weeks, he's just been flooding me, and I appreciate it, but it's a lot of work. All the stuff you've seen recently is primarily for Jimmy, and it's getting ready for Wonderfest. You guys going to Wonderfest?
Yes, I am. Scott has to sit out for the first time.
Check out
first time in 27 years. I won't be there.
Oh wow! I wish I could go. They're having my Creature from the Black Lagoon this year as the Make It Take It. Pretty proud of that. I wish I could go.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That is nice. We've
Blackheart
shown that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that creature. We'll put it up here. So you sculpted one of my favorite characters of all time, and that is the animated Golem.
Oh, I love
the Riddles in the Dark piece. which
Yeah.
was, can you tell me how this came about? Because I have this one and I have the old SB Productions one. Did you do both or just this redo one?
I did the redo one where he's
Okay.
there's a little base like that and
Yeah.
each other. And I'll tell you a story behind that. I wanted them to make the Hobbit movie. And so I actually sent one to Richard Taylor and Peter Jackson, begging them to do the Hobbit movie. And they told me there's no plans for that. There's no plans to make that movie. And I was like, oh, man, okay, well, here's a model kit. And they both wrote me and thanked me and everything. And then they made the movie. So I feel like I had a play in that. So.
What year was that?
Oh, my Lord, there's that memory thing. I don't know. It's been a while, so.
Man, okay. So
Don't get me going on those snooze fest Lord of the Rings movies.
we're gonna knock Scott out of this for a second.
Don't even get me going.
So hold
All
on.
right.
I want, and we're gonna talk about this off the air. Why are there no? We might have to edit this out because I don't want people to steal my ideas. But if they do, I'll be fine. Or you could steal my idea, or I could maybe work something out with you.
Okay.
The animated Hobbit.
Yep.
Why is there nothing from that? It is so. The character, that Rankin and Bass, the characters from the animated Hobbit would make amazing sculptures.
Oh, yeah.
One of my dream kits is that Smog. That fat, lazy, arrogant, cat-looking Smog, where it's just. That would be just. And then the goblins from that and the orcs from that, like.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you.
Okay. All right. At least I'm not the only one. And I know I'm not the only because you had sculpted this a while ago. And the way I ended up with it was I had seen because SB had, what was his name? Do you remember his name that you sculpted this for? It was SB Productions, but I don't remember the gentleman's name.
The kit that you have?
I have both of them. I have this one.
Oh, yeah. The one
and I have a different one.
I produced that myself.
Okay. Then maybe it was you.
Kits.
Okay, then something fishy.
Thinking about reissuing it too, but I don't know if I can find them.
You know what we were talking about, memory, Chris?
No. Because what happened was I saw the original for sale. There was another one that was in brown, really old resin, and it's from SB. I have and he said maybe he had bought this off of you.
Maybe.
And that's what I think happened. He goes, "Hey, I have this original one, and if you want to, I'll sell you this one too." And I hope he wasn't recasting it because then I'm fucking pissed. But it looks like this. I'll have to go and dig out the
is the sword hand in pewter?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well that's the Jimmy Flintstone mold and cast those. So if the hand is the sword hand's in pewter, that's one of Jimmy's castings. So
okay,
that's an original, one of the 50.
I'll have to dig it out. Now I'll have to get back to you and I'll figure it out.
Okay,
But I love this kit. I love this because I love that Gollum. That animated Gollum is one of my favorite characters.
Oh, me too.
To see that someone else that actually cares, it means.
I love that movie, man. I have all of the Lord of the Rings stuff, animated and the movie.
See, Scott, can't just make fun of me anymore.
I don't make fun of anybody. You know what?
Taylor. Yeah, I got that.
Everybody needs something to help them fall asleep. Okay, and if it's a Peter Jackson movie of any kind,
that's not true. Okay, hold on, Scott. Have you seen Frighteners?
Oh my God, there's another good movie.
No.
Okay, it's got Michael J. Fox. You should watch it. It's a Peter Jackson movie.
Yeah,
I don't think you'll fall asleep.
That show.
I saw Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles is fantastic.
No, it's not. It's garbage.
That's why it's awesome.
Oh no!
And don't even get me going on what he did to
Richard Taylor. And Peter Jackson. If you're watching this, we want you on the show.
Man, if Jackson ever comes out, I'm going to have to hide.
I know you are. After all the stuff you said, and I'm going to go
his
back
ass all the time,
and I'm going to edit it out and put it in.
And the thing is, if I met him, I'd probably like him. But I would tell him,
you guys have a lot in common. That's the thing.
Okay. What was the Beatles thing? Get Back.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. I'm like, it was too long. They could have done it in 2 hours. Okay. I didn't need 6 hours of that or whatever it was. Jesus.
I've moved to New Zealand to work at Wingnut Studios now. I'd leave Texas.
They were doing an open call for people a while back.
Oh man,
it was 2010 because it's when I moved in with my ex, and I had just moved in, and I'm like, oh, I can't leave now. And now I'm like, damn it. I could have maybe.
Soon thereafter, she was going to leave.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. This is another piece that I own, and this was for, oh my God, my brain just broke. The Garthok. Say it. Garthok.
I have that in my hall. My wife hates it. I just got to keep it up high.
It is dead on perfect to the stop motion puppet. It's like,
oh yeah. I got a message from Phil Tippett about that.
Did you really?
I was like, oh my God, Phil Tippett.
Okay.
Like,
wait, hold on. Was it good or like?
They have it in their studio, and he says it's a match. He was like, it's a match, and I was like, oh, dude, wow,
that's so cool. That is so cool to hear. And this was for Kid Kong, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Have you talked to him lately? We were wondering what's going on.
No, he kind of vanished on me. I don't know.
In the basement of the Kid Kong mansion.
Yeah. I forget the article that was in either AFM. I want to say it was in AFM. I have the paint up from that article.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I also have the AFM or Kit Builders. Which one it was in, I don't know.
Wait, how did this kit even come about? Was it something you did and were like, hey, check this out? Or did he come to you and be like...
Sometimes I do stuff that I really like, and the Conehead movie was just too cool to pass up. So, I mean, I thought, wow, this is stop motion at its best. So I thought, I got to do this. So, and Kid Kong just happened to buy it. So, yeah. And
I always thought it was backwards. I always thought it was him that went to you. That's cool to know. I did not know that.
Have you seen that in person?
Oh yeah. I have it in the garage.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah,
I have a copy of it.
No. Yeah, mine. I wanted to display it in the living room, but no, not so much.
The wife didn't like the dildo statue.
Yeah, she was not into
happy
it.
Wife, happy life, Chris.
She could. Yeah, she could.
That's all I'm gonna say. Happy wife, happy life. Don't bring home a puppy.
That's so true.
You'll be safe. So, let's talk about Drax.
Oh, I like that one too.
So, and I'll tell everyone a story and see how much you remember. Let's see how much your memory clicks. So, I think you showed that on a board on the statue form boards.
Statue form, yeah. Either the statue form or clubhouse, one of the two.
Yeah.
Both.
And there were a lot of guys interested, but no one wanted to do anything. And I remember I got a hold of you, and I said, look, I'd be interested. And you worked out a price with me. I said, well, can I put out feelers to see how many it looks like I could sell? And you said, yeah. And so I had about 25 guys that said they wanted it. Okay. Wow. And I don't know if you remember this because you were very kind to me at the time.
First mistake.
I didn't know. I didn't have a lot of money. And I said to Chris, I said, what do you want for it? And he told me. And I said, can I give you half now? And then let me get these cast and I'll give you the other half.
You still owe me, don't you? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Don't start. I got receipts. No. So, and now I figured, when you had 20 some guys that said they wanted it, you were going to get people backing out.
Oh yeah.
But I did my figuring and I'm like, if I sell like 17 of them, I'm good, and I can pay Chris back and all that. And so we worked it out. And I think Chris wanted a couple copies too as well. And if you didn't get them now, you're out of luck. I'll send you the original back. No, I know he got them. So I cast them. And I wish I still had the picture. I had probably 25 of them lined up on my pool table, like an army of Draxes, And so I started sending people mail saying, because I didn't want to take money first. And I started sending emails out saying, okay, they're ready. Okay. And I mean, man, bam, 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 bam. The money came in and I was able to pay Chris and get his 2 copies to him. Probably sooner than I thought because it was the money came in. And I think I ended up selling more. I think I ended up selling like 27 or 28 on the run. There was one guy in France that I think they bought like 6 of them. But to save on shipping, I sent them all in one box. and then he got them to everybody that was there.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think he actually contacted me with his page where he showed it off. Like, if I remember right, yeah.
he may have. So, and over the years, I've gone to Wonderfest when I've set up a table and I've had time. This is before I had a Rotocaster, so now it'd be easier to make them. Because back then I would have to pre-fill. I could tell you where I have to pre-fill the bones and the base and the belt and his nose on his face, and the rest of it would pour, really easy. And then the one fist was separate. And I do still have the original, and it is still in good shape.
Wow.
Yeah. But so I've sold a few from time to time. Not everyone knew who Drax was.
Wow.
And I think if I remember right at the time, you told me, yeah, if nobody wants it, I'm probably going to just crumble it up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so that's why I put that feeler out. So it was one of my first kits that I put out was the Chris Elizardo Drax the Destroyer.
That's
It is the same character from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, what did they do? Why didn't they stick to the original? I don't know.
Well, see, and what I liked about this is I was a huge fan of the Jim Starlin Warlock Captain Marvel stuff in comics.
Mm-hmm.
And so Bowen started doing some of them, but he never did a lot of them. So I thought, when I saw Drax, I was like, yeah, finally someone's, and it was pretty much Bowen scale, if I remember right. And it was like, cool. So, yep, that's my story with working with Chris, but it was painless,
Now let's ask Chris. Was it painless for you, sir?
It was cool.
Oh.
Yeah, so no worries.
So was I pretty much on the money with the way I said it, though? I mean, it was, as you remember, that's kind of how it went.
Yeah.
So,
I don't remember actually sitting down and sculpting it. It's a blur, but I've seen pictures, so it comes back. So that's cool. I'll tell you, man, I've sculpted so much stuff that, wow.
Okay, let's see if we can jog your memory on this. You did a piece, and this was on your Facebook page for Galloping Ghost Arcade. That's right here in Chicago. That's it was by my grandma's house before she passed away. Oh. And so, could you explain? It's a guy in a motorcycle jacket with a battle axe. Could you just explain the backstory on this this piece? What were they trying to do?
He makes his own video game, green screen, everything, and puts together arcade type games.
So it's done Mortal Kombat style. Is that like?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's what
They're all kind of based on Mortal Kombat.
Cool. Yeah, that arcade for people who don't know.
I think he was probably the best one I did for them. So.
Oh, cool. Galloping Ghost Arcade's a throwback arcade here in the suburbs of Chicago, and they have just tons of old.
Oh yeah, go hit them up.
Just arcade machines. So if you're ever in
town,
was
in my neighborhood, I'd be there all the time.
That's really nice.
I'm looking through a lot of this: the Grinch, the Hellboy.
Yeah, who was the Grinch for? Do you remember?
Want to say I did that on my own, and Jimmy Flintstone picked it up.
Okay.
A lot of the times when I did something that I wanted to do, Jimmy will pick it up, or Larry, or
and the Homer, same thing.
Oh yeah, no. Who was the Homer for? Somebody in California picked up the Homer, but also something I just thought would be cool. I mean, right? The Duff beer in the air, heck yeah.
I'm looking at that Spawn bust. That Spawn bust was
also something I did because I'm a Spawn fan, but
yeah.
For the life of me, I can't remember who picked that up.
So when you look at some of these old sculpts like that, I say old because I think they've been around for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And now you go think about digitally. Do you ever think about, man, I wish I had been ZBrushing then because the work I had to put into some of this.
Some of the stuff that I see out there, I wish, oh my God, please take that down. But, you got to come from somewhere, so... I mean, that's where the road started.
Yeah, and I think it's cool. Like I think of that way with my paint jobs on stuff. I like to see where I started and where I ended up, and how things are.
I wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of that Iron Man that I did. Yeah. Truly awful. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm looking at the Silver Centurion one that you did. Back then when that statue form was going, did you get a lot of work back then from a lot of those guys or no? I mean, it's because
actually, I got a cease and desist from Marvel. Was it Marvel? Oh yeah, Marvel. Because I did a really bad Wolverine, and yeah, I had it mold. I was getting ready to sell cast. I got a cease and desist, and that was it for that. So I dropped off of superhero work. I didn't want to do any more superhero work because I didn't want them to come and take my lunch money. So I shied away from it because I didn't know if I was going to end up in jail or something. So I wouldn't sculpt any superhero stuff.
Is that the only time you ever got a C&D?
Yeah, first and only.
Huh.
Wow.
But yeah, that was scary for a young kid. So I don't know. You get a big company like that.
Oh,
I got one from Warner Brothers, but I know who was behind it.
Oh yeah.
Did you frame it?
No, but I never answered.
Well, the thing about mailing in regular mail, there's plausible deniability there because can they prove you received it? So I don't know. But yeah, I don't worry about that much anymore. It's the person who commissions me, they're taking all the risk. I'm just a sculptor. So I assume everything is on the up and up.
That works.
Yep.
These G.I. Joe action figures, you did the guns or the people? Like these?
I just did the people. The accessories were done in China, I think.
Okay. Man,
Stuff that I did for Super 7. I don't know if is that on there, Super 7 stuff.
I'll find it. I only saw the G.I. Joe one. Or I'll have to go back.
Yeah, there's some Beastie Boys, and then there's some work that I did. I did primarily weapons and accessories for those for Super 7. And then I did a bunch of other ones for them too. So other than, I did full figures.
What's your favorite thing to sculpt? What's your thing? Like what's your favorite character that you like to work with? Or
we already talked about that. The Hobbit stuff was my all-time favorite stuff to do.
Okay.
And I think it should be like you. There should be more of that out there. Yeah. I even did the Dwarf King. Did you ever see that? I don't even know if that's on the site. Yeah. I've never seen. I don't think I did. Painted. I don't think I've seen one of those painted. He may not even be on there. I don't know.
I remember one of the pieces I got, and I forgot you sculpted it for you, or if it was for someone else.
Which one?
And people are going to laugh because nobody knows who it is. The Captain Klutz bust that you did.
Yeah. I think that was for a guy in Germany, actually.
Was it?
Yeah.
I remember I ended up with two of them. I bought two. I still have them. It's like, nobody knows who this is. Nobody will ever do that. And I remember
Mad Magazine guy, isn't it? Right?
Yeah. Don Martin piece. And so I remember that. And I was like, wow, that
turned out pretty good. You did. I really like that. I saw a couple of them painted, and see, I wish I could paint like some of the stuff I've seen out there. It's just like painters bring my art to life. And, when I do it, it's a flat canvas. But when you get somebody who can actually paint, that works their magic on that, oh my Lord, it's like awesome.
So what is it with that? Because I've seen this a lot. You've seen guys that can sculpt and they can't paint.
Oh, that's me.
Okay.
That's me.
And now there are guys that can. Steve West was a phenomenal sculptor and painter. Mike Hill, but I have seen that over the years in the hobby, the guys that can sculpt.
We spend so much time with the sculpting craft that everything else just seems to fall by the wayside. In my little bubble, when I paint something, it looks awesome to me. As long as I don't show it to anybody, I'm okay. But other people, they can really paint, and that's why I tell people I don't paint. I can't paint.
You guys kind of worked together on a piece and didn't even, I think, know, sort of.
Two pieces now.
Two pieces. So two. So the Sky Captain in World of Tomorrow, Scott kind of printed the prototype, or the first one, I think, for Tom. So talk about how this idea come about with you and Tom.
I don't know. Tom's a big fan of that movie, and I am too. So I thought, wow.
Yeah, that was a blast.
Stab at that.
That was a blast. Thanks.
It's big, right? Yeah.
So it actually printed very well.
Really? I had to break. Did you get the broken down base version?
He had to break down the base because the base wouldn't even fit. I've got a Jupiter.
Oh, okay.
And the base, and the problem was too, I almost reprinted the base, but he said he could fix it, so he must have fixed it.
Huh.
Because it kind of warped where they went together. Yeah. Okay. but I think he fixed. I think he just puttied it up, and I had to print the buildings in 2 parts too. I think. Or no, maybe I printed
I
the
think I
buildings all as
divided those
one.
up too, if I remember right.
Yeah, but I think I printed them all as one. I did think I printed them all as one, and they came out. There's a lot of support on the back, but
oh yeah,
they came out, and he was happy. He was very happy with it, and I know he sent it off
I learned a lesson about 3D printing. If you leave something that's oblong or a little bit on the weighty side, it will warp hanging there. So you got to get that off the printer. Like this stuff that I got back here, it's fine because there's nothing. It's hollowed at 3.5 millimeters, so no problem there. But I printed the base for the Green Hornet gun for Jimmy Flintstone, and the base is long, and it literally warped in the middle like 3 times. So I don't know what was going on there, but Jim had another printer reprinted flat, and that worked better. But yeah, stuff will warp just hanging there. So,
but that was a fun piece.
I can't wait to see it painted and lit up.
I would. I'm trying to think.
Will that be at Wonderfest? Is that coming? Like, is he going?
I think so. I think so. I want to say, were the bottom arms separate pieces? Yes, they were. From the elbow out was a separate piece,
right?
And then from the shoulders, it was a hard piece to hollow. But I was able to do because I didn't want any of the holes to be in a bad place.
Right.
Now the body was easy. But the
and that kind of brings me to my question: the sculpting machinery versus organic stuff, is that hard for you? Easy, same? Do you like sculpting robot type things, or is that
it's pretty much all the same for me. Sculpting, so organic is about the same. I think Tom wanted me to. He suggested I do the whole bottom half of that, and I haven't gotten to it, but that would make a pretty impressive bot, I think.
Well, that's a good sized piece. Yeah. I mean, it's
big.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, and I don't know what he's going to do with the antennas. I told him I'd print them for him if he wanted, because they printed. It's an easy print. I could print a lot of them.
Did you get the ones on the sprue that I did, or separate? I thought I
both.
On the sprue.
Both. But I think the ones on the sprue came out better.
Yeah. I thought I'd throw some supports on that.
Yeah. I think those came out better. And I mean, really, I'm looking at it going, did I have any fails? I'm looking at it going, did I have any fails? Yeah, I did on the nameplate. I got a stress mark on the nameplate, so I had to redo it with some more holes and some more supports but then it came out, so I was happy with it. And the first one probably would have been okay, but it's like, no, let's get
That's why I left that separate, because I didn't know what was gonna happen with that. So
yeah, no, that was easy. So, and then the other piece, Chris and I inadvertently. So this is even better because the bastard's making money off of my idea. So you did that creature fossil hand.
Oh yeah.
For Mark Warthling.
Yeah, actually, okay. I did it, and it was just a fishing project up for sale. I wrote all kinds of people trying to sell that thing.
So he took it
when they went. Yeah.
So he took it, and when he got it, him and I were just talking about it. And I said to him, well, if you got the files, dude, I go, why don't you print some smaller ones?
Yeah. Heck, make them keychains. That's what I want.
And so, matter of fact, I got one in here. Hold on.
Oh, cool.
Do I have one in here still?
Dog ate it.
I printed one for my...
It is a bone, so could be.
It's buried in the backyard in one of those holes.
Yep.
I don't know what happened. I just saw it the other day. But... So he says, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do some at quarter scale. So, and I don't know what the fuck I did, because remember I got a hold of you and said, hey man, something's wrong with the one finger.
Oh yeah.
But it turned out, for whatever reason, I didn't scale that one down 25%.
I thought it was something I did.
Oh
no, because I remember I got back to you and said, my fault, my bad, because it was when you put it together, they all went in really good, except for the one finger was kind of like tough, and it was like just didn't look right.
the middle one was a little extra long. What's going on with that?
Yeah, and it was like, well, no, I made it. Yeah, I made it. I think it was the index finger that was too long, and so I finally took and I put the file in and shrank them all down to 25%. And that's when I found it. I'm like, why is this finger so big? Okay. And I had printed like all of them for Mark. So I had to print a build plate full of the fingers and send them to him. Which didn't cost anything, but it was like, whatever.
Are you using Cheetu Box or?
Yeah.
I'd blame it on Cheetu Box.
No, it was my fault because I've done it since too.
Well, no, we were just having that conversation how Cheetu Box will randomly change a setting.
It does.
Like,
yeah.
Is that what you use? Do you use that or a light sheet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then, of course, we're sitting here and, I'm playing around and I printed like 25 of those for him, right? At that size. Because he's like, well, what can you print them for? And I told him what I could print them for. And it was cheaper than he could cast them for, because they're so small. And all I had then was the Saturn, but I could fit 2 on a Saturn. Okay. Once I had the size right. And so I printed him 25 of them. So I'm sitting there just screwing around one night. And I sliced one at 50%. And I printed it. And at 50%, it's the size of my hand. I mean, it's. So I said to Mark, I said, what do you think about doing something at 50%? And so I showed it to him. He's like, oh, that's really cool. Well, how much can you do those for? So I told him, and he's like, yeah, make me, shit, I forgot how many I did to start out with. 12, I think. Okay. Huh? And he sold those better than he sold the quarter scale ones. Wow. And he's just now this year at Wonderfest finally molded the 1-to-1.
1-to-1.
Because there's no way that's more economical to print.
Oh, yeah.
Than traditional. No.
I should have thought of that when I was designing that thing, but I thought, man, life size, that would be cool.
Yeah. And and what I didn't realize too is when I'm taking supports and shit off, now I got to figure out what finger goes to what. I'm at a quarter scale.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Chris had labeled the finger. Okay. They were actually, well, they weren't labeled, but they had like M for middle, I for index, P for pinky.
Yeah.
And the ring finger was just the stump, and then the thumb was a T. And he even had arrows on the palm part to show, or on the forearm bone to show what the front was, because, so again, very well engineered. And Warthling, of course, made a fortune on another one of my ideas. And
is it hard to engineer a kit in ZBrush? Like to cut it up and do all that?
No. Once you learn the ins and outs of live booleans, it's pretty easy.
Okay.
So, other than if you have to do an action figure and it's got 15 million articulation points, then it becomes a little tedious. But something like the bone hand that I did, wasn't too bad.
Are you producing a lot for yourself and selling for yourself, or is it mostly right now mostly?
Because
I want to plug away. I want people to be able to buy some stuff too.
I've been really busy lately, but I did the Vincent Price head. That's for action figure customizers, and I'm going to do some more. I did James Caan from Rollerblade for an action figure head that's going to be coming out at some point.
Okay.
Partners with Michael Allen on that. And then, let's see.
That Michael Allen guy. That guy. He's Texan, isn't he? Was he from Texas?
Fellow Texan, yeah. He's up the road here somewhere.
Yeah, we love Mike.
Yeah.
Except he won't come on for some reason. He says he'll come on and then nothing happens.
He keeps blaming poor Charlie. That's why.
I'll suggest he come on.
Scott's nice once in a while. It'll be all right. The Vampire in Brooklyn. That's pretty awesome. And that's why I like
that movie.
Yeah. Who's that for? Is that for you or for someone else? I can't.
No, that's for me. Yeah, okay. I'm going to be 5-inch bust on that, probably 1/6 scale, just the top half, and a little bit of a base on there. That's what's on there right there.
Okay.
The printer back there, a couple of those.
If people want to get a hold of one of these, just
drop me a line. Yeah.
Okay, Facebook.
So do you
website
when you print for people?
Mm-hmm.
do you offer them different sizes? So if someone says, man, I really want one of those Vincent Price, whatever, blah, blah, but can you print me one at quarter scale or half scale? Do you give them that option ever? Or
No, not really. I don't like to really print for other folks if I can afford it.
I mean, even if you're printing your own stuff, do you give them that option?
Yeah, no, I pretty much pick a scale and whatever's economical for the printer. And it's a pretty good printer. It's an M3 Max back there. And I got a Frozen Transform over here in the corner. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Right there. Frozen Transform. And I would have printed that Sky Captain piece, but I had a spill that ruined my LCD. Oh my God. Screen protectors, folks. You got to have them.
Scott always says that.
It cost me like $900 to replace the LCD in that thing.
Oh,
so it's like saving
because you didn't have a $5 screen protector.
Yeah, I had no clue. So
Bill Wilson, if you're listening, okay,
screen protector, do it.
Screen protector. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah.
I preach this, and I don't know if you're on a lot of the 3D boards. I am, and Jason is, and just it's like weekly. There's somebody go, what did I do wrong? Well, let's start out with you didn't put a screen protector.
Oh yeah. You think to yourself, okay, it's glass. How could it get ruined? That's just not true. You're not getting that resin off there without ruining that thing.
No.
There's no way.
What's your favorite go-to resin?
I use here's a plug, right?
Yeah.
Elgu, water washable.
Interesting. Have you had any problems with the water washable ever?
No, and it's awesome because I have a 5-gallon bucket with some gloves and some laundry soap and water in it, and I just sit there and agitate the prints in that. Then I use they come with so every bottle you buy comes with a really soft brush in every bottle, so I got a bunch of them. So it just works really well, and there's no smell, So water washable, Elgu water washable gray is what I use.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the first I've heard of someone not having problems. So that's cool to know that someone can't get it to work. Because it was the first thing I tried, and I just couldn't get it.
Right here.
It looks good.
Elgu water washable.
Is that solid or hollow?
No, he's hollow.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta save in that resin. It's not all that cheap.
Yeah. Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. What else you got coming
out?
Gomez
Gomez Adams now.
Oh, yeah.
Jason told me to look at the Gomez Adams now. I'm like, wow, that's really nice.
Yeah, who's the Gomez for?
That was Jimmy. Are you talking about the 3D one?
Yeah.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot for Jimmy.
I think that was actually his. Yeah, he's one he requested. So, not that I wouldn't have done it at some point, but yeah.
So, Chris, it's great having you on. I want everyone to see. I'm going to put this montage up of just like some of your more recent 3D pieces. I think the spaceman with the skull in the helmet's awesome.
Oh yeah. That was a play on the MTV Spaceman.
Yeah.
At first, I did him with the dead TV flag and everything, but nobody wanted it. So I actually partnered up with Escape Hatch Hobbies to release the bust. So if you want a copy of that, they have that somewhere.
Who's got the Sebastian?
Nobody. That was just a fun little thing I did.
That's just a fun little Sebastian. I loved it.
Yeah.
We'll do a quick montage.
Really
MODOK. Who's got the MODOK?
MODOK. I can't remember.
MODOK that actually looks like it should, not like this horrible movie that just came out.
He was for. It's actually a miniature for Judge Cheats, and they're going to be really, really tiny. But I still jam packed as much detail in there as I could.
So you do a lot of digital stuff. Obviously, you've seen CG Trader, Cults, all that.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you with selling STLs? Do you look at it ever as something you want to do, or do you look at it and go?
I thought about that, and if it's a piece that took me no amount of time to do, and if I can make a couple bucks here and there, it's okay. But no, I haven't actually done that because it leaves too much room for people to do whatever they want to with it, And you got to be careful if you're not giving them a duty free. You got to state that, otherwise, they can do whatever they want to with it. So And I've seen a lot of people that print them up, paint them, and sell them, and and do that over and over and over again. And that duty free stuff, I don't know. See, I'd want it to just be whoever I sold it to use it for themselves. But
Well, and that's part of the problem I've seen out there is that, well, obviously, there's Etsy is full of people that have bought files. I mean, and I've seen $5 files, and someone goes on Etsy and has to sell it for $250, and I'm like, do you need the money that bad?
What's the point, right?
Okay, do you need the money that bad? And there's a gentleman that I hooked up with that does all this Hanna-Barbera stuff that's beautiful. And
wait, you hooked up with him?
Well, he's in Brazil or wherever, so I haven't hooked up with him yet. He's a little young for me. But so what I do is when someone wants me to print one of his pieces, because I printed a ton of his pieces, he sends me an invoice for the file, and I make sure the artist gets money for every one I print.
Huh?
Okay, so it's and sometimes it's it's a $10 file, a $15 file, sometimes it's an $80 file, but it's like I'm very adamant that I'm going to support him because I want him to keep selling.
Oh yeah.
And but it's hard. It's hard because there's guys, then you see the shit on eBay and like there's some Patreons and there's some guys that don't care. And this is the one I don't get when they say, hey, print as many as you want and sell them. Just don't sell my file. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Well, that's a few of the and that was the question. Have you thought about doing a Patreon where you are like making something specifically to sell out on a Patreon file wise?
I didn't think anybody would follow me. So
really,
yeah. So yeah,
I think there is a what's the right word? There is a void in terms of garage kit subject matter, in terms of Patreon stuff, and I think you would do well with, because I know Vengeance Studios they're doing some really good stuff that kind of fills that void, and there's a couple other guys because there isn't really we make monsters as well as doing a lot of the garage kit kind of stuff on Patreon. But you don't see a lot of the classic monsters and stuff on there at all. It's all superheroes and modern stuff. So I mean, there is a void there, and I would look into it maybe and see how.
And I think the best way for any digital sculptor to approach it is, if you're gonna do something, I like the Kickstarter type idea. Okay, where you say, okay. STLs are like garage kits, and when you get over $30, it seems people get a little pickier. Okay, and I don't know what you charge for a sculpt, but I'm gonna say, let's just put out. I want $1,000 for this sculpt.
$2,000.
Okay, what can I sell it for? And okay, if I sell it for $30, how many do I have to sell to make my $1,000?
Recoup, yeah.
And so that's what you do see is a lot of guys. But what's unfortunately for guys here in the States, these guys, in Brazil and stuff are selling stuff. When they get $500 worth of people, they release their files. But $500 to them is $1,500 to you, because of the cost of living and all that.
Oh, yeah.
And, but I look at it and go, for sculptors, that's the way to go, because you can, at that point, you're guaranteed your money. You don't have to release it. So let's, and again, I'm just throwing a number out there. Let's say, all right, I want $1,000 for this sculpt. Well, I get enough supporters, I get $850. And then I might say, you know what? Fine, I'll release it. And then you can put it on CG Trader for the same price you gave it to them for. But you've made your money at that point. And if it gets out there and gets stolen or resold or whatever, yeah, it sucks, but at least you got your money out of it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. That's why I like to talk to you guys and see what your thoughts on it are.
Oh, you're right. I was reluctant to release anything for myself because, I don't pay myself, obviously, but that's why I like to stick with commission work because, I get my money and they get their piece and they go make money for the rest of their lives or whatever they're going to do with my piece, and I'm fine with that. But I didn't want to risk, producing something myself. So, but with the invention of 3D printing, I mean, why not? Yeah, I can print them up and sell copies whenever I want, So, and if somebody knocks it off, well, more power to them. So, I'll
You're
keep
knocking off a
selling
3D print.
mine.
You're a shitty person. Like, I just don't. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Well, no, I just don't. Yeah, I don't get it either. When I see guys selling, well, there was a guy in CG Trader. It was a Batman, a Dark Knight file. It was like $10, but it was really cool. And I didn't know, so I bought it. And then all of a sudden, I find out this guy wasn't the sculptor. Some other guy was the sculptor.
Oh no!
And so I reported him to CG Trader, and they refunded my $10. And obviously, I got the file. Well, when I found the original artist, he had the thing. I think it was on Cults 3D or one of them. I think it was Cults for free. You could download it for free.
That's E-Man.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
and
about.
then but someone's got to try to make money off of it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And that Looney Tunes diorama that I have, that one guy sculpted, I forget his name now.
Tiotar
or whatever.
Yeah, that's it.
And all of a sudden I saw two different people on CG Trader selling that same thing. And I reported both of them and got them both kicked off. And I had another guy contact me about trading files. And it's like, buy them, you cheap ass. Okay. I mean, dude, buying STLs is the cheapest way to do garage kits I've ever seen in my life.
Well, people have the mindset that just because it's done digitally, it's easier and should be cheaper. And I don't understand that at all. I mean, it takes me the same amount of work to sculpt, and it didn't take me any less time in my 30 years of sculpting to learn how to make this. Right. So I don't understand why people think that.
And that's the other thing. Like, people, as this is an art thing too. It's, well, why is it so expensive? You're not just paying for that piece. You're paying for that 30 years of learning how to get to that point, of some of the time that person has invested in their talent and in their process in trying to make something cool. And that's what we're all here for, is to, support people that are making cool things. Speaking of which, what else? What you got? Anything else coming out cool wise? You got these Alfred E. Newmans.
Yeah, that the Vampire Bust from Brooklyn, and the Vincent Price head, and then eventually at some point the Rollerblade James Caan head, and whatever I can do. Well, I'm about to. I just accepted a commission from a big collectibles line, and I can't say who.
Okay.
I don't know why, but and I can't even say what. But it's based on a really cool movie.
Cool.
Something you and I would like. I know.
Awesome.
And that's going to keep me busy for a while. Hopefully, I'll get continual work from them. But that's away from the garage. That's the collectibles industry. So, and then just day to day.
It's got to be nice, though. I mean, you started doing this, and you've been your own boss for all these years.
Oh yeah.
Would you say, since you've gone digital, that you're getting more work now?
It seems like it. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like it, because I mean, they can have a file in their hand in a day if I can do it in a day, and a lot of the times I can be pretty quick. So, and that comes from sculpting with clay. But don't let me fool you. I'm up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and work till like 8, 9 o'clock at night most nights.
Mm-hmm.
So what people may think, hey, this guy's just whooping it out. I mean, I'm Mr. Exhausted. By 10 o'clock, I'm out. So,
oh man! All right, best way for people to get a hold of you?
sculptorforhire.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for joining us. This has been awesome. We'll love to have you back when we get some more. When you got some cool stuff to show, we'll have you back on anytime you want.
Thank y'all for having me. I'm not worthy.
Oh, shut up!
Truly, not
No,
worthy.
we aren't. No.
This show's a bigger snooze fest than the Peter Jackson movie. Let me tell you.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, see, we're gonna have you on with when I have Peter on. We'll have Scott not on, and it'll be you and I talking.
Scott's gonna be like driving away.
No, actually, we can't do that because I want to watch Peter Jackson rip Scott apart. That's what I want to see.
I'd be Ralph Crampton. I'd be like,
oh man! All right, Chris.
Guys.
Have a great night.
You
Yeah,
too.
we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Chris, for coming on. Get a hold of Chris at sculptorforhire.com. He's also on Facebook. All those links will be down below. But what a great interview! Really, just nice, soft-spoken dude. No nonsense. Just
no,
right
really, not a lot of ego there.
None.
And you guys don't know what goes on behind the scenes, but as Chris mentioned himself, he's a bit of a recluse, and so he was really worried he was going to be boring. But I thought he did great.
Yeah, he was really afraid when we first messaged him. He didn't think he could fill an hour, and like we told him an hour had gone by. He's like, "What?" So we'll have him back. It was a really cool interview, I thought. So awesome. Sculptor for Hire.
Huh? Oh, Sculptor for Hire. Yeah, you know me. If I can get someone talking about digital and printing and all that, I'm there, man. So
I literally just broke something.
it wouldn't be an episode of Model Club TV if you did.
I have my Skaven team, and I just broke. I don't know if you can see it. See that tail?
Mm-hmm.
I was picking up the emails. Oh, no, I dropped a piece.
Never fails. $5 says he bumps his head on the way up. Okay.
I'll never find it. Oh, well. Emails, corrections, and voicemails. Scott, we have no voicemails. Do we have any corrections? You're fading on me. Sit up.
I'm tired.
Sit up.
Got a bad day. Okay. I'm going to sit up.
All right. Emails.
Let's go. Let's hit it.
This is from Mr.
Let's
Trock.
hit it, Mumbles. Trock?
Hey, frickin' frack. Catching up on the past few episodes. Did you know that Frickin' Frack were a comedic ice skating duo from Switzerland who joined the original Ice Follies after moving to the U.S. in 1937? The difference here, of course, is that I am still waiting for a Model Club comedic duo to show up, and by the looks of Johansson's fall video, you aren't ice skaters either. Gotta say, at least that was funny. Buster Keaton, more like Busted Keister. You know what the weird thing is? My mom used to call me and my brother Frickin' Frick. Like as kids. I enjoyed the Joe Hudson episode, though. He had so much experience, and I definitely picked up some good tips. As to the unboxing videos, I have never been much of a fan of those kinds of videos, especially for a $65 styrene fly. Okay. Seriously, $65 really isn't that bad for a kit like that. Of course, that is coming from someone who has been buying kits from Japan for many years. Talk about laying out some dough. It's sometimes not for the faint of heart in that realm, but of course, the kits are all too often beautiful, so why not? Great to see my buddy Giovanni make an appearance a few weeks ago. I have been a part of the Jersey Fest experience since Dave's Basement, and it's my favorite show each year. It's much closer to home, and it has always been a great hangout show. We won't have our current diorama ready for Wonderfest, but hope to have it done by Jersey Fest, and are planning on bringing Destroy All Monsters also, since it never made an appearance there. Hope lots of modelers come out to see Jersey Fest in September. Again, link for
Was
the
that
show.
Destroy All Monsters, or was that Destroy All Modelers and you made it up? I'm just asking.
Destroy All Modelers.
Thank you.
The episode with Mark Henry and Dirty Town was Dirty Town.
Dirty Town.
The episode with Mark Henry and Dirty Town
in Dirty Town
was great, and I have used their stuff and ordered a few things that we can use on our latest project, and I'm looking forward to playing around with that stuff. Hard to believe that Model Club is 70 episodes in. I remember that first episode and of course seen them seen all of them. Why do I do it? Because I was at all 3 of the contests at Wonderfest. Maybe. Is it because of the highly informed and observant commentary? Hell no! It's so I can do stuff like show off my one-of-a-kind original Jeff Yeager piece. After Mark Warthling sent me a pic of his head with the Godzilla tribute kit, I knew then and there I wanted my own head to go on there, so I commissioned Jeff, and now here it is. I hope to have one painted and on Mark's table, spending time sitting squarely on Godzilla's shoulders. See you next month, Jason, and if you need a temporary stand-in for Johansson that weekend, I'll start practicing pratfalls. Later, Robert. Robert had his own head made.
Probably smarter than the one he's got on his shoulders now.
Wow. Wow. No, I love when he sent. It's been a while since we had a Troc email.
Robert could fall. Because
he's a spry old guy.
He is a spry old guy, and Model Club TV is right around his age, I think. So there we go.
Yeah. All right.
I love Robert. Everybody knows I love Robert. But Robert, let's get something straight. Okay. Jersey isn't home. Okay. Illinois is home. I believe it's Deerfield. Okay. That's home, pal.
And he's a North Sider, so there he's got that going against him as well. From Scuzzfink. Since Scott was
been ruffling some feathers lately. So.
Has he really?
Oh yeah.
Well, here we go.
Well, nothing new there.
Yeah, since Scott was half asleep, Screaming back years ago was about $60 to $70. Now it would be over $100 because they were big. The reason X Plus vinyl is so expensive because Sony, Columbia, and Harryhausen Estate. Back in the 90s, nobody cared about licensing movie characters, except Geometric and Horizon, and to a certain extent, Screamin'. All the rest of the garage kit companies, paid nothing. And it didn't matter back then. When they make less than $30 or so. Of course, resin was cheap, shipping was cheap too. Not all resin kits were over $100. Mike Park's Super Deforms were $20. There were other companies that were affordable, Dimensional Designs, Jimmy Flintstone, and a few others. Some producers think big is better, but you're still not going to make much of a profit in a long run. Quarter scale resin kits and one scale bus, something I've never wanted. A lot has changed since the 90s. It's not worth it to have a garage kit company now for many reasons, compared to back then. Rampant inflation has caused the hobby to shrink. I think that's true, partially true. I feel X Plus always price gouged on their kits and statues over the years. I remember seeing their early stuff at a KB dirt cheap. It's the same way making vinyl. How come Thailand can do it so cheap? There is no way I will pay $200 for any kit. Not worth it to me. I'm not made of money as some seem to be. It will never be the same as the 90s when this hobby first started. So there's some valid points in here.
He should go shopping with my wife. Well, no, my wife will look around and go, that should be $5. I go, yeah, in 1993 it was.
Right.
Okay, As far as X Plus, I don't have a problem with their pricing on their vinyl kits. Their vinyl statues are kind of crazy priced, and a lot of their Godzilla shit is way out of the ballpark.
Here, and I don't think we touched on this enough in the last episode, and this is one of the reasons why we didn't talk about the licensing really for X Plus. They are paying a licensing fee, and I don't know what are they charging for a kit or a pre-paint statue? Who knows? And that could be part of the reason why those kits are so expensive when it comes to X Plus. And as far as like his price limit on kits, I mean, that's a personal choice. $200 for a kit is nothing to somebody. If you're
that's like, and again, it's the comparison's been made a zillion times. Okay. I want a $200,000 Ferrari too, but I'm driving my minivan. Okay. You got to go with what you can afford. Don't hold it against the people that can't afford it.
Yeah. I'm driving a Scion XB right now with no wheel covers. Jamie's calling me out of my car. All right. Scott's back half asleep again. All right. From Virginia. Hi, Jason and Scott. This is Virginia Peters. And on the subject of these prices, yes, I am fairly new at model kit building, And I feel everyone should realize with the economy rising, prices on everything, even models. That being said, depending on the subject and the age of the kit and the rarity of the kit itself, I'm not sure what my limit would be. I know I've purchased some vintage kits for a steal of a price, so I suppose my high limit would be $500 and my low limit would be around $100. I hope they never come up with a printer that prints and paints for you because it's all part of making the kit come to life. I myself, we have a warning for her. I myself enjoying the sprue cutting, shading, sanding. I myself enjoy the sprue cutting, sanding, gluing, and painting. I don't want it done for me because I enjoy it so much. And if other people feel the same, then it will never go away. Thank you, Virginia. There is a printer coming out that will print painted pieces, colored pieces. That looks pretty good. But I agree with her a ton. I enjoy sanding and gluing and puttying. It's my favorite part. I love building models.
More than I think you're going to be building that piece you dropped on the floor.
Dude. I can't. Anyway, thanks for the email, Virginia. And our final email from Mike Zizik. I said it right. Yep. Mike Zizik. Good day. It sounds like a gentleman. Good day. I hope I am not bombarding you with too many emails. I've just been listening to a lot of the past episodes and run across questions or comments. This is a long one and I don't expect a reply or reading it on the air. Well, you're getting that anyway and making Scott yawn. Ooh. On there, just getting some more thoughts out. Number one, show guests. I would love to see some of the OG model kit sculptors, producers on the show. We just had one. And I don't think people realize that. Chris was there in the beginning sculpting some of those early, not super early pieces, but he's been around a long time. Jeff Bauer, John Dennett, Sean Nagel, Steve West, Rick Force, Thomas Kuntz, Thomas Gillian, or even some of the special effects people who made an impact on the hobby like Steve Wang or Kevin Yeager. I know a great number of people have passed, but to hear about these artists, if still around, would be cool. Completely agree, and we're going to make some effort to try and get some of those people on. In episode 13, holy crap, how am I supposed to do this? In episode, I don't know.
Was that?
Do you want to? Let's take a poll. Do you remember what episode 13 was?
Cipriano?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll go check. I think you guys were. I'll put it in here as we're talking. I think you guys were talking about limited run kits. I will paraphrase for content, but not an exact quote. Scott made a comment about a kit run of 3 years should have had everyone who wanted it the opportunity to buy it. In theory, that only works for people who are active and scouring the net for new kits. I missed out on a few awesome kits from many manufacturers because I was not on Facebook and I did not know of their existence. 2 examples are the Ariel and Ursula kits from HQ Model Kits. I had no idea that they were out until years later when I saw YouTube videos and I went to try and find them. Both sold out. I am not sure there are many kits that I missed out on due to time, exposure, and production run. I found some chrome paint markers on Amazon that do a darn good job of looking like chrome. The part has to be glass smooth to get the effect, but now metal is possible without a lot of hassle. Have you thought about more videos like the Dirty Down demos? Maybe quick 5 to 10 minute hits about a product or a technique. Your Dirty Down vid was great, but maybe not that long to overwhelm your free time. So if you do not have a Workbench segment, 1 week you could throw one in, like how to mask, detail brushes, decal application, things that could help newbies in the hobby or even advanced techniques. Yes, that's the plan going forward. I do want to do more of those, and I do want to do more long form painting videos as well. So we will be doing more of those. And Scott will too. You have a viewers gallery for model kits. Do you ever throw your kits up? I would love to see some of your work that you have done outside of AFM. No, I haven't done that yet. And what I need to do is rephotograph everything. And I think when I do that, I will start to put more of that. Most of the stuff I've done recently has been for AFM. So I do have decent pictures up, but older stuff I do not have. It was like the time of like 5 megapixel cameras. And they just look terrible on here.
Funny you should say that. Just cleaned out my drawer.
Yeah.
I put my digital. I had an Olympus Cam Media. At the time, it was 4-megapixel camera,
That's
and
crazy?
it still works. I thought it took great pictures, actually.
They
Back in
did
the
for
day.
looking at little things back then, but now to like put them on someone's TV that's 4K, you know,
Yeah,
it's not. And we don't broadcast this in 4K. It's still 1080p,
and then
which is
my phone probably takes better pictures than that camera does at this point.
yeah. Oh, it does absolutely. That's I've been using my phone for pretty much all of that stuff at this point.
But it was back in the day, man. I took that. Well, I used to film to Wonderfest, film camera.
Yeah.
And I'd go through like 10 rolls of film because I would take the whole contest. And then I would have them printed.
Dude,
and put on CD.
I did too. There's a couple years I brought my film camera, shot a ton of rolls of film. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, when I'd come home, I'd spend like $150 developing film.
We're so old.
And now I don't even take pictures. I'm like, someone will post them on the internet. You know?
I know. That's exactly my thought too when I do it. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for the length of the email. Believe it or not, I did condense it. LOL. Good luck in the final push this school year. Stay safe, and I'll see you at Wonderfest in a few weeks. Awesome email. Thanks, Mike. Yeah, a lot of that stuff is stuff that's in the works, and we'll get there. Scott, that's the show. Everybody check out Chris Elizardo, sculptorforhire.com, and we'll see you after. I hope there's an first episode in June, but we'll see. We'll try and get it done. We'll figure something out. But
well, this will be the first episode in June.
No, this will be May 30th.
Well, it'll be the 30th.
Yeah.
So you're really technically not due till the 14th. So we'll see.
Which I won't be here. I'm not going to be around.
I don't care for me. Figure it out.
Maybe you and Brian should do the show. How about that?
Watch, here's where it'll end. Sure, give me the Zoom password so that I can. Boom, over.
Not happening. All right.
See?
All right. See you later, Scott. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.